everybody, Cinema Sickness here with your daily sickness video, and happy Tuesday to each and every one of you. And today we have some reviews. Just recently watched a bunch of movies. Let's talk about them. This one's going to be a little bit different though, because we have 3 trilogies to talk about. Yes, I watched 3 trilogies in a row. Didn't necessarily plan on doing that. Just sort of worked out that way, and makes for an interesting review video where I get to talk about 3 trilogies in a row, which is pretty cool. So these videos usually run way too long, so let's just get right down to it and take a look at the first trilogy. So first thing we have here is the Big Momma trilogy. Yes, all 3 Big Momma's films. I was new to this. I had avoided Big Momma's House, the movies, for the longest time because they just didn't look like something I was really all that interested in. Really had no interest in it. But then recently, one of you guys actually sent me the third movie. Sent me a third movie, I believe, on Blu-ray. And in that video, I think it was from an unboxing. So obviously it was an unboxing. The unboxing video, I asked you guys. I said, what's up with the Big Momma's House movies? Are they any good? And a lot of you guys said, yeah, the first one's pretty good. Second one, and the third one not so much. So I thought, all right, I'm gonna check this out. So I definitely wanted to get them, and then I came across the set, so I picked it up and finally checked them out. And I would completely agree with what you guys said. First movie, nothing amazing. It's not great. It's not fantastic. It's just okay. It is what it is. I did enjoy it, but again, it's nothing absolutely fantastic. It's got some okay funny moments, and it's just one of those movies where it's just kind of like, it is what it is. It's just a Martin Lawrence comedy. If you see things like Black Knight, and things like that, you kind of know what you're getting yourself into when it comes to his style of comedy and his type of movies. He's definitely, hamming it up, doing all his, I call them his Martin moves, because a lot of the moves and the jokes he makes, and when he pretends to do karate. I can't talk tonight. When he pretends to do karate and stuff like that, things like that I remember him doing back in the day when I used to watch Martin. I see in other movies that he does, including Big Momma's House. So you're getting yourself into with his brand of comedy. But it wasn't bad. It was it was enjoyable. Again, it is what it is. But all in all, it was it was enjoyable for that type of movie. For what year did that even come out? 2000. So for an early 2000 comedy, it felt like that. It was what it was. And if you like early 2000s comedies, then it is something, I guess, worth a check out. It wasn't, that's basically the best way I can describe it. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad either. It was just okay, and worth seeing if it's something you've been thinking about checking out. If it's something you want to see, you don't need to see it. But if you've been thinking about checking it out, it is at least worth a watch, I'd say. All right, Big Momma's House 2. Okay, this one came out in 2006, so we have a 6-year gap between the first movie and the second movie. I don't really know why this movie was made. It just felt like they were trying to do the first movie again, but not well. I would say is the best way to describe it. Like I said, the first movie was okay, but the second one was just like, it just seemed like, why? I can understand if the movie came out the next year, even maybe 2 years later, something like that. Okay, they're trying to just, capitalize as much as they can off the success of the first movie, make a quick buck. I'd kind of be like, well, I understand that. I guess I see why it came out. It wasn't a good movie, but I understand why they did it, money. But 6 years later to release it, it's kind of just at that point, it's like, why? How well did that movie really do? Did they really capitalize off the somewhat success of the first movie? I have a hard time believing that, but I don't know. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe 20th Century Fox made some money off that. I don't know. But again, it really felt like they were just trying to do the first movie again, but poorly. Yeah, I had to say not very good. I don't even know if I want to say. I guess if you've seen the first movie and you want to see the second movie, sure, check it out. But yeah, it just wasn't very good. Like I said, first movie, sure, see it. It wasn't bad. But the second movie, it was just them trying to do the first movie again. It's a really bad version of the first movie, which kind of sucks. Okay, but then we have Big Mama's Like Father, Like Son from 2011. So, I mean, we just keep like huge gaps in between these movies coming out, which for movies like this just don't seem to make any sense to me. Like, you know, things like Pirates of the Caribbean or something like that with big gaps or something like that, or the Star Wars films or something that have like years, you know, yearly gaps or something like that. Like, I kind of get that, but like for Big Mama's House, they should really just come out like rapid fire just to like, you know, keep the flame going. All right, so Big Mama's House, Like Father, Like Son. Definitely the worst of the three. And again, another why. It just, this time I wouldn't necessarily say they were trying to do the first movie again. They did at least change it up a little bit. I felt like I was watching kind of a different movie, but you know, he gets his son into the mix. His wife is nowhere even to be found. They mentioned her a couple of times. I give him credit for that, but not even featured in the movie, of course. And they end up going to this college. But the thing is this movie ends up kind of turning into like a crappy teen movie almost. Like there's like little montage scenes of like the girls like getting ready and like having a party and stuff, and just it just kind of it just kind of turns into this like teen movie, and it really takes off the focus on Martin Lawrence too, which I get these movies should really you would think these movies are really like, you know, want to feature. I feel like it's kind of taken off him a little bit and moved on to his son, which I guess I see what they're kind of going for there. But Martin Lawrence almost kind of felt like he played like second wind. Like he just kind of seemed like just sort of there. It's kind of the reason why his son dressed up as a girl. Like, I guess they needed a reason, and then have the father be the reason. It wasn't very good. So, all in all, I'm just gonna say, if you want to see the first movie, check it out. It wasn't horrible. It was okay. It is what it is. It's an early 2000s comedy. It's ridiculous. It's over the top, but it's all right. The second and third movies, you don't need to see them. Like I said, the second movie just felt like they were just trying to redo the first movie, but poorly. And the third movie, at least they were going for something different, but it turns into this weird sort of like crappy, mediocre, like, what is this? What's even rated? I'm surprised it's PG-13. I was going to say PG rated, but PG-13 rated like teen movie. And again, I'm not even sure what made it PG-13. You don't need to see it. So like I said, see the first movie, second, third, skip them. All right, now on to the good stuff. So, finally completed this trilogy. So, of course, I had to sit down and watch it. And that was the Hobbit Trilogy. Finally sat down and watched it. I had seen An Unexpected Journey. I'd seen the first one already, but I hadn't seen the last two because I figured, you know what, when I picked the second one up, I was like, well, now I want to watch the first one again to get myself caught back up. I thought, you know what, no, I'm going to wait till the third one comes out. When I get the third one, then I'll sit down and rewatch them. So watch these all back to back. And I'm really surprised how much flack these movies get. A lot of, like, when I said I was watching, a lot of people said they didn't like them. I mean, there certainly are people out there who did like these movies. I have heard good things about these movies, but I've also heard a lot of bad stuff about them. And I don't really get it. I guess maybe it's different. I guess I can kind of see if you watch the movies like in the theaters, you saw one and then waited like the next year, saw the other one, then waited like the next year, saw the other one. You had gaps in between each movie. I guess I could kind of understand maybe not liking them as much, but I'd say for sitting down and watching them back to back, it does truly feel like one big story. Unlike the Lord of the Rings movies, which, yeah, it's one big story, but I kind of even watching them back to back, which we're going to talk about in a second, but even, spoiler alert, but even watching them back to back, you still kind of, I mean, personally, me, I still kind of feel like I'm watching three separate movies. They just sort of feel like three different movies to me, as opposed to the Hobbit trilogy, which really, to me, just felt like one long story. Like, I was really watching one, like, what were these, like 2 hours long or something like that? Over 2 hours long. So, maybe 8 hour movie. I felt like I was just watching a really, really, really long movie, and I thought it was okay. I really enjoyed it. I know, like, a lot of people didn't like the second one and stuff because they felt it dragged on, and again, I can see that if you saw each movie individually. I really wouldn't say that the Hobbit movies are to watch, watch one, then wait a little bit, watch the second one, wait a little bit, watch the third one. No, I'd say this is definitely like a watch one night, one the next night, and one the next, just boom, boom, boom. Watch them all back to back, because it does feel like one giant awesome story and one giant awesome epic story. And I loved the hell out of it. I thought it was very well done, very enjoyable. Even the parts that people say, like, dwindled on and were slow and stuff, I didn't care, because it was building up story, it was building up character. I was getting invested, I was getting involved, and since I felt like I was watching one giant story, those parts didn't bug me. Again, had I gone to the theater and seen like the second movie or something like that, and seen Desolation of Smog, I maybe I would have been a little bored by it. Maybe I would have been like, wow, this movie does kind of drag on. There's a lot of like doll points in it, but again, if you sit there and watch them all back to back, the doll parts, the doll parts, I don't even want to say the word. There weren't any parts that I thought were dull, but the parts I could see people thinking were dull, just sort of worked for me and didn't really bug me, because there was enough going on before and after through the other movies, even the beginning and like the very end of the second movie, to make it all work for me. So I loved this trilogy. I thought it was fantastic. I was blown away by it. I guess some people who are big fans of the books, or the book, I should say, didn't really understand why it was broken up into 3 movies, and maybe they thought another reason why it was dragged on a little bit. None of that bothered me whatsoever. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed the Hobbit trilogy. I will definitely sit down and rewatch it again sometime. In fact, I really want to pick up the extended cuts at some point and rewatch them all over again. I really, really enjoy this, but I am going to say I would recommend sitting down and watching them all back to back. I would say this is definitely the type of trilogy you want to watch just together. You don't want to put a bunch of gaps of time in between each, because it might not work as well. So definitely sit down, watch all 3 together. I loved it. I don't know. I don't necessarily get all the hate. There is a lot of love for these. I have heard a lot of good things about these. A lot of people have a lot of love for these movies, but there's also a lot of people who have a lot of hate for them. And I don't really get the hate. I thought it was great. Loved it. All right. And then I already kind of spoiled it. But since I sat down and watched the Hobbit movies, I was like, man, you know what? It's been a while since I've seen the Lord of the Rings. I've seen the trilogy, but it's been a while since I've watched them. I've seen the first movie about a bajillion times, because I used to work at a toy store. I used to work at FAO Schwarz back in the day. God, that was such a fun job. I used to work in there. I worked in there my junior, senior high school, and like first 2 years of college. I worked there. A lot of fun. Love that job. And the Lord of the Rings movies had just come out, and the first one we had playing on TV in there over and over and over and over again. So I've seen that movie about a million times. The Two Towers I've seen a lot as well, because I think we did play that at FAO Schwarz as well, but not as much. I remember, like, I think that movie came out and we got the the DVD and we had it playing, but we didn't play it for as long, because by that time I think we had like kind of moved on to like featuring a different toy line or something like that. Lord of the Rings, we're still popular, but not quite as popular as something else that was coming in. So I didn't see that one as many times, but I did see a lot. But Return of the King, I've only ever seen a couple of times. I really hadn't seen Return of the King very many times, so I definitely wanted to watch it. And I had never seen the extended editions. I love these box sets. They look so cool. The fact that they look like books. These are like some of the nicest looking box sets I've ever seen. I love these. These are awesome. But like I said, I had never seen the extended editions. I had never got around to watching them. So, had to do that. Figured, you know what, I'm going to rewatch the trilogy. Let's do the extended cuts. And man, were they long, but man, were they awesome. Such another great trilogy. I loved it. Although I gotta say, since each one of these movies feels like, and I'm talking about the extended cuts here, I would really have to rewatch the theatrical cuts for me to give you a review on them, because, like I said, I have only seen like the second movie, like, a lot, but not a ton. And the third movie I've only seen like a couple of times. So I'd had to really watch the theatrical cuts for me to give you my point of view on those again. But as far as the extended cuts go, like I said, they do each one of these movies, and this is something I definitely remember from the theatrical movies. Each one of these movies does feel like kind of its own movie. The way it starts and the way it ends, I really feel like you're watching one movie, and then you're watching another movie, and you're watching another movie. Even if you watch them all back to back, it really feels like you're watching 3 films. Yes, one long story that all continually go into each other and whatnot, and it's great, but they still kind of feel like their own individual movies, as opposed to, in my opinion, the Hobbit movies, which I thought really, because of the way they started and ended, just sort of felt like one big giant movie, which I kind of appreciate a little bit more. And I say that because there were parts in the Lord of the Rings movies that I did feel drug on a little bit. There were some slow parts. Again, I'm talking about the extended versions. I think I remember that from the theatrical cuts as well. It's been a while since I've seen the theatrical cuts. I need to rewatch them sometime. In fact, next time I watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy, I'll probably watch the theatrical cuts. But I do remember some things dragging on a little bit, even in the theatrical cuts, and especially the extended cuts. So since I do feel like I'm watching 3 individual movies, the parts that drag on do seem a little bit worse as opposed to the Hobbit movies, where I can look past them because, again, a little tiny part that drags on too much, whatever, because I'm watching this huge, giant, really long movie with a bunch of epic stuff going on. Whereas with the Lord of the Rings movies, I feel like I'm watching one movie where if there's something that drags on, there's not enough to make up for that part that drags on, as opposed to, again, I mean, we have 3 movies here, epicness of 3 movies making up for a couple of parts of drag on. We have one movie making up for a couple parts in one movie that drags on. If that makes any sense whatsoever. But it's still, it's okay. It's all right. I don't get so upset about that. I know some people, just really get up in arms about these movies and how things drag on, and there's so many slow parts. It's like, well, heaven forbid it's not action. I mean, it's the same thing with horror movies nowadays. I get so pissed when I watch a horror movie like Woman in Black, The Innkeeper. I mean, Innkeepers is one of my all-time favorite movies ever. And a lot of people don't like that movie. A lot of people have bad things to say about it. They're like, well, it's boring. It drags on. Nothing really happens. It's like, it's atmosphere. The movie creeps you the fuck out because it's creepy. It builds up the suspense. The entire movie is building up the suspense, and that's the way old horror movies were. That's why I love things like the original The Haunting and stuff like that. Like movies like that build up the suspense, build up the horror, and then give you the pound. In the end, I love that. But now people just want scare. They don't care about story. They don't care about building up suspense. They don't care about all that stuff. They don't want to see an hour and 15 minutes of building up suspense and then 5-10 minute payoff. They don't want that. I love that. And I think it's the same thing with action movies. Is a lot of people just want just constant action. They want explosions. They want fights. They want just epic. And when we have parts that are building up a story or building up a character or whatever, people are like, it drags on. It's like, no, you're building up the story. You're getting yourself invested in these characters. You're building a story arc and whatnot. You're not, heaven forbid this wasn't just, 3 movies of nothing but fighting. That would have been a little much. And that's the thing. There is plenty of battles in here. There's plenty of battles and whatnot and epicness going on in here. And yet people still have to complain. And I don't get it. So any of the parts that drug on, didn't bother me whatsoever. They completely work for me. I'm okay with them in both trilogies. The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, they both work for me. I think get a little bit more so in the Hobbit than the Lord of the Rings. But either way, I'm fine with them. So love the hell out of watching the extended cuts. Again, it's been a while since I've seen the theatrical cuts, so it's really hard for me in my head to compare them. I can't even really remember, there were a few scenes where I was like, okay, I don't remember seeing that before. That was definitely an extended scene. But really, since it's been so long since I've seen the theatrical cuts, I really don't remember too much of what was taken or what was extended, what was taken out for the theatrical cuts. I don't really remember. My bad. So awesome. And watching Return of the King was so good too, because like I said, the first 2 movies I've seen this a decent amount of time, especially the first movie. I mean, Fellowship of the Rings, I've seen such a ridiculous amount of time, and Two Towers I've seen a bunch too. But Return of the King, I've only seen a couple times before. So since it's been a while since I've seen it, it was really like watching it for the first time again. I had kind of forgotten a lot of things. It was, whereas again, the first 2 movies, I kind of knew what was going to happen. Return of the King, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about this scene. I forgot this happens. I forgot, Frodo does this. I forgot they go there. And I forgot. It was really, really cool. So really enjoyed watching Return of the King again, since I've only seen it for a couple times. So the Lord of the Rings trilogy, you gotta see it. I don't, oh, that's backwards. I know, I mean, pretty much, I'd say, 75% of people I talk to agree with me that the Lord of the Rings trilogy is awesome. It's fantastic. There are some people out there who just hate this and think they're boring and think they drag on a bit. I don't know. I don't. So Lord of the Rings trilogy was fantastic. Oh, also, I also loved watching it with the Hobbit because I don't read I don't read books. I mean, I read some cinematic books I have, but I don't really read, you know, like I never read the Lord of the Rings books. I never read the Hobbit or anything like that. So in Fellowship of the Rings, when the movie starts and Bilbo is talking about, you know, his adventures with the dragon and stuff like that, and when he gives Frodo the you know, the dagger, and he gives or not the dagger, but the sword, and he get was it the stinger, and he gives him the like the chainmail, the chainmail that's like, you know, like super strong and stuff like that. You know, certain little things like that, and this happens like all throughout like all three movies. Certain little things like that they kind of like talk about happening that when watching them, I didn't really know much about. I just thought, okay, that's kind of just like some weird backstory they're talking about, but I never thought about it. You know, oh, Frodo battled a dragon. Okay, whatever. You know, they're just telling you that happened. I didn't really think much about it. But now watching The Hobbit, it all makes sense now. It was pretty awesome watching these movies after watching The Hobbit, because so many more things out of these movies. I just kept catching little winks and nods that they kept making to the Hobbit story that I didn't know because I had never read the book, but now I've seen the movies. It all makes sense, and I thought that was pretty awesome. So it was great sitting down and watching all 6 movies back to back. I thought it was just fantastic. It was a lot of fun, and a great way to watch the Hobbit / Lord of the Rings series. It was just great. So I'd recommend them. So yeah, Hobbit, Lord of the Rings. If you haven't seen them, check it out. Big Mama's House. Take it or leave it. So, all right, guys, that is it. I am going to shut up now. Wow, 21 minutes. That's not too bad. Thought I'd be talking about this a little bit longer. So, all right, guys, there you go. I know I really didn't need to probably talk about The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings. I mean, you've all seen them, I'm sure. But I just wanted to give my quick opinions on them and tell you what I thought. Since I did watch the Hobbit movies, you know, basically for the first time. And, So anyway, guys, that is it. So like I always say, if you like this video, please give me a like. All you gotta do is click that little thumbs up tab down below. It takes 2 seconds, and it means the absolute world to me. I'd really appreciate your support. Also, if you are not already subbed, please do. I do a brand new daily sickness video for you guys every single day. Collection updates, unboxings, cinema hunting videos, reviews, looks into my collection, just looks into my sickness for cinema on a daily basis. Every day, I got something to show you. I've been doing it for over 4 years now. I got no plans of stopping. Plus, I sprinkle in bonus videos here and there. Like the last, I guess yesterday actually, I had like an epic cinema hunting video at Jake's. If you haven't seen that video yet, check out yesterday's video. It's awesome. You'll definitely see that. So extra little bonus videos sprinkled in here and there also. So hit that subscribe button. Again, I do a brand new video every single day. Also, if you're not already over at cinemasickness.com, down below there's a link. Click on that link. Head over there. Check it out. There's a lot more to see there than just these videos. I do post these videos there, but there's all kinds of other stuff that I post. All kinds of other things for you to check out over there. Definitely a place to see everything Cinema Sickness. My collection's listed there. FAQ page, like what I'm watching, all that stuff. It's all over there at cinemasickness.com, including Team Sickness. If you like what I do, you're going to like what Team Sickness does. A lot of great collection updates and reviews from all those guys and gals. Check out what they have to offer. All you got to do is click on the Team Sickness tab. And also while there, be sure to click on the merchandise tab and purchase yourself a Cinema Sickness button, a Cinema Sickness t-shirt, hoodie, tank top, all kinds of great stuff over there for you to purchase. And again, all proceeds just simply go to me putting gas into my car so I can head out and shoot some more awesome videos for you guys. So, all right, that is it. So again, hope you're having a great Tuesday. Hope your week's going great thus far. And tomorrow, I'm thinking collection update / unboxing. I don't know. We'll see. We'll just see how things go. So, all right, guys, that's it. Have a great Tuesday. I'll see you tomorrow on Wednesday. Hump Day. Awesome. Bye.